Hey there YouTube, my name is Kenny. Thank you for checking out my channel. Today's video is going to be all about our LTR474. We have a few things left that we need to button up, then I can officially call this machine complete. All right everyone, so if you saw in the last video, I did state that the LTR474 is complete. We did get that hard start issue fixed. Let's try it one time, see if it's going to work. All right, so we're going to give this one shot and see if this is going to work for us. All right, so if you've seen in the last channel, we do have the 474 sitting right here. We did get some motor work to it, got everything done. We had a hard start issue maybe a couple videos ago. Right now, everything's good on that end. We got all that adjusted, got the plastics put on. There were a few things that I have left over to do to complete this machine, and we're gonna get those things done today. All right, everyone, so excuse the mess. I have a little bit of stuff laying out here. Today was bath day, and we're gonna be working on the Banshee right here in a bit, but we're gonna finish up a couple things that I have to do on the LTR. First thing we're gonna do is go ahead and put the gasket onto the Stator side cover. We did go ahead and get the gasket in the mail. We're gonna get that installed. Then we're gonna get those little pieces of plastic that go into the corners of the LTR. We're gonna get those installed as well. The seat kind of sticks, so we're gonna get the seat maybe trimmed a little bit in there to make sure it's not going to be sticking and hard to get out. But let's get the camera around, quit talking, and do it. All right, so we're down here. And everything. We're going to go ahead and get these 3 bolts off of the gear, starter gear. I'm going to use a magnetic bowl because that will be your friend, and this should easily, maybe with a little bit of persuasion, come off her. So that's in there, that's up against there. There's a washer that you want to make sure you keep an eye on that goes on the inside. So we're off there. Let's go ahead and get the oil out. All right, so we went ahead and just took all the bolts out. I thought I had my camera on, but I didn't. As you see, the oil pan's down there. Last couple drips of oil is coming out, and I did take the hose off the bottom, the reservoir hose. So we're going to go ahead, see if we can get this cover off. So it looks like a mess. So what we're going to do is clean all this old gasket off. Yeah. And put a new gasket on, get all the old material off. So luckily we didn't have any problem. All the old gasket came off really easy. It's just the fact that we have to clean it off this side cover here to get a nice surface. So over here is where the mess is going to be to get all this off. However, we'll get all of it off with no problem. Nothing a good old wire brush can't take care of. Now, although that worked, here's my second option, which might work a little bit better for right now to get the main bulk of stuff off. So here are my gaskets. I just bought some cheaper ones off eBay, so I'm just gonna double up on the thickness and get them a little thick. And I'm gonna do the grease method and grease on them instead of, because they should be able to come off easier in the future, nothing adhered to each other. So up here we're done. Now we just got to put our oil bolt back in and then put our feed line back in. I'm also going to drain this oil tank because the break-in oil is done. Man, so go figure. Ran into a little hiccup while we were down here putting the oil plug back in. So apparently it's an issue that's normally happened. I stripped out my oil plug bolt. Now for one who says, hey, I hand tighten all of my Stator side covers, at 7M. I didn't really put any kind of torque on it. So I'm assuming this was pretty much partially already done from the prior owner. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and tap this for new threads and get a new bolt put in there. And then we're going to lay this back down and get it done. So we do have a new bolt, got a oil seal washer on there. I'm just going to thread this one in here. And like I did before, I'm just going to snug it up really good. There we go. Oh man, so I dropped the LTR, went around. I decided that I was going to use Rotella. So I dropped it down, got my skinny funnel, have my 2-stroke mixing container right here, quick mix. On the side of it has mils, ounces, 500, 500, 200, 1200 milliliters. Went inside of the oil reservoir, and 400 went into the actual motor. Then I look across the back and about puke. But what's this, may you ask, right? While standing it up, some gas ran through, ran here, and freaking stripped this. I mean, it's right here, but it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look good there at all. So what I'm going to try to do is contour a little shape to it maybe, and just cut that area out, have it white, and see if I can just make it look better. Or I'm just going to strip these whole plastics because I don't like that. That is the second source of my frustration. So when I decided that I needed to retap these threads, I stood the machine up on its back. Didn't have a thread tap long enough, ran into town, came back out, and at that point in time, the seal on the gas cap was a little off, so a little bit of gas ran down and freaking ate the plastic. I mean, it ate the carbon fiber graphic. I guess it's like hydro dip off. So this is what I had to do to get it to look better. First, I had 2 runs that just went down through here. And then I just taped it off with some painter's tape, used paint remover, and then removed the rest of it. So it looks really good right there. Actually, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. But, you know, underneath the seat, you'll see some yellowing here and there. That'll be all covered up by the seat. And it had some yellowing coming right out of the tank, but I kind of angled that off well. All right, so we're next morning getting out here, looking at this LTR. I mean, last night I was pretty frustrated. Once you get in there, and then, you know, you start taking stuff apart, and then last thing you have to do is put the bolt in the bottom, and then a lot of problems went through there. But we're going to look underneath the machine, make sure we don't have no new oil drips. It's been 15 hours since we did it. So last night it was about 8 o'clock. Today it is close to 2. So, all right, side's still on. Like I said, still got a little bit of that grease up there. It's no big deal. But nothing on the ground. No oil spots, specks on the paper. This is where the dripping was coming from. And even up here, there's no oil spots underneath the tank. So we've officially fixed those leaks. And while I was being impatient, I went ahead and put those body panels right here, those little clips in there. So overall, those 2 things are done. All right, those are buttoned up, so the frustration level is a little down. We have oil in the machine, no leaks. That's good. One problem done. Next problem was the plastic pieces that are gone, installed, boom. Now we're just going to trim around that seat latch just there a little bit to make sure that we can get the seat to prop in there properly as we want it to. And then I guess it's just a case saver. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use this bit on my Dremel and just round out that edge a little bit, make it a little bit larger if we can. And we're going to see if we can snap in there a little easier. It's all the way up. Just snap in, seat latch. Okay, so we're good. All right, so as far as the seat goes, it works well. I just didn't have it pushed forward as far as it needed to be. So now we're good. Somebody else did ask me on here, how did I relocate my battery, where I put it to? My battery is actually in the air box. So you pull we're gonna pull the lever again. Just pull the lever, slide it back. So if I had known that I was originally going to do this and not put it here, I did cut that tab off afterwards, which is fine. That's still aluminum. But I would have cut this mounting point right here off. But we took all those wires and that cluster of relays and came right up to the front. Didn't have to extend anything. And right coming inside the battery, we have no lid. We have the battery, the anti-gravity battery in there. And I just had the positive, negative. And then the relays just underneath here. So it doesn't look so bad, like with the seat back on. The seat stripes are white. That little patch is white. It doesn't actually look too bad with all that on there. It looks really good, actually. I was concerned about, you know, me being a little bit OCD and destroying it and having to take all the carbon fiber off. But I think we're going to be good right here where we're at. Final thing we're going to get done is we're going to be putting the BCC case saver on here. Just cheap insurance, 40 bucks, 30 bucks, something like that. And when you put that on here, if your chain pops off, we all know the damage that the chain can do. This is going to prevent that. And then this machine will be officially done. All right, so here we go. LTR sitting behind us. So you know, when we get this kind of angle, that means we're pretty much complete with what we're going to be doing today. We're going to do a walk around and discuss everything that happened in this video, what took us from here to there. It's been a little frustrating with a couple things that weren't expected, but let's get to the machine and we'll get this one closed up. All right, so we have the machine. The few things that we stated we were going to get done today, we actually did. So the first one the easiest is we did put those little clips in here, or these little body panels, and these filled in some of the gaps so that when you're riding, that's less splashage that's going to get on you. But it's not like these are going to really stop anything anyways from your sitting point. We went ahead and took off the side cover here, stator side cover, to put the new gasket on. We put those on, no problems. However, once we drained all the oil out, the oil tank bolt stripped. We got that fixed, got a new oil tank bolt in it. Once we had it stood up on its rear, the gas cap wasn't on good. Some gas came down, ate up two sections here. I think it doesn't look too bad with the cleaned off white area because we have other white there. So that blends in really nice with no problems. You wouldn't really even notice it if I hadn't have told you to. The other thing we got done was, now my kicker isn't stuck there. I just put it there because I took it off and I put it back. But the other thing we did is on the actual other side of the machine. So let's go over. The final one is that BCC skids case saver that I went ahead and put on there. So it does great protection. It looks great. It's made out of that poly. So it's going to protect this side of the case, and it does have great fitment. So I don't have any complaints about that. I usually use their sprocket covers back there in the rear and everything. So I think we're good. Man, this looks great. All right, everyone, so we're going to be wrapping this video up. It has not necessarily been a long one, but, you know, I had a couple of the new issues that we didn't plan on. Got the 3 things that we wanted to do done, plus we had to do a few others. Underneath the seat, looks really good, too. I think we were going to see if the seat latch works. Let me turn the camera. I'm going to pull the latch here. All right, couldn't really pull it with one hand, so seat latch. We did cut out that area a good bit, so we have a bigger area for the whole rubber part here to kind of sit in. But like I said, that's where I had done that, clear strip that area completely to make it cleaner. But you know, once we slide that all in there, up far as it go, and we're good. So yeah, seat latch, all those things are great. So the final thing we're going to be actually doing to this is, today is Monday. I'm not really sure when the video is going to be up. Well, today is Sunday. I'm not sure when the video is going to be up. Wednesday, I'm taking it to a dyno to have a dyno tune. So they're going to do the Power Commander 5. They're going to program it, make sure we're running optimal. I just didn't want to not do it. It was so close. But I just went ahead and decided I'm going to go ahead and just pay to have it done. And we're going to figure out what it's going to be, what kind of power it's going to be making, what's going to be going on with it, so I can have more specific information for you all. All right, in the next video, we're going to be talking about the couple things that were going on with the hybrid, and we're going to just run through those things real quick. But thank you for hitting this like button and subscribe. Make sure to share this video, comment on this video if you like what we're doing.